Some of you are saying, Paul, why are you even on this subject? I'm on this subject because I believe we're nearing the New World Order. We're nearing the tribulation period. We're nearing the end of time as we know it. We're nearing the second coming of Jesus, and we're going to have to address these spiritual phenomenons that are going to take place on the earth and are already beginning. And the Bible tells us that. And I'm going to read that to you in just a moment in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. That's going to back up this exact study that's coming before us. Okay, back to this. The United Nations have appointed an alien ambassador. This is insane. I mean, the United Nations has appointed an alien ambassador. Her name is Mazlan Othman. She's a space ambassador, extraterrestrial contact. If alien beings come from somewhere and contact us on Earth, she will be the one that intercepts this conversation first. Okay? Now, are they aliens or are they demons? We have an archbishop who interviewed over 100 people who were abducted numerous times. He came up with similar traits that they all basically said, and you can see that in part 1. And then we have a psychologist. His name is Dr. Mack. And Dr. Mack interviewed over 100 people who had multiple alien abductions, they said. I believe they had multiple demon encounters. And he said that after this entire analysis, there came up to 8 phases that the victims go through after being what they say abducted by aliens. Number 1 was they would come to a phase of acceptance of the alien or acceptance of the demon, I would say, and then they call that ego death, and that's where you finally have to convince yourself, you know what, I'm not dreaming this is real. I actually was abducted, or I was definitely encountered. The second phase is called the intermediary phase, and that's when you believe, you come to the realization that this extraterrestrial, this alien, does not live in the kingdom of heaven with God, and obviously is not part of our earthly world here, but is an intermediary or somewhere in the bridge in between, and has come to analyze us. Okay, I believe that's what it is actually. As you come to realization, what's really happening to you is you've come in contact and been actually encountered fallen angels, demon spirits, just like Lot did, just like Eve did when she was visited by Satan in the garden, and at that time the serpent walked upright and enticed her and seduced her into breaking God's commandments. Now, the third phase that Dr. Mack says the individuals will go through is the trans-temporal phase, and that's when you begin to think that the cosmos are more your home. It's your source of home. That you really don't belong here on the earth. Your real home is the cosmos, the space, the intermediary area that these fallen angels, these aliens, these demons, I believe, live. So what I believe happens to you is these demons convince you that this life here on earth is meaningless. That your real calling in life is to live with us in the cosmos. And once you get past this third phase, Dr. Mack says, then you'll feel yourself as if you are an alien. You will take up on the belief system, you know what, I'm really an alien actually. And these people on earth don't even have a clue. But I'm one of the chosen ones. And they start taking on this. That is the point when you are starting to take on a possession of it. Or this demon spirit is possessing you. It's entering into you, and you and the demon are becoming one. You believe you are one as well. And that's a possession. And you will need an exorcism to be delivered from that. You will need an exorcism at this point. Number 5, the fifth phase by Dr. Mack, when after interviewing over 100 people who said they had multiple abductions by aliens, the fifth phase he said they come into is the eternal time frame. And that's where you begin to believe that you are that your life is bigger than just Earth. That this is just, this period of time you're on Earth. That you're actually you've been alive way since the beginning, near the beginning of time, and you're going to live almost to eternity, and that this is just a little drop off, and that this is really a meaningless situation. It's just kind of a phase, an interaction phase, and it's called the eternal time frame. And once you get yourself convinced of that, then you go into a sixth phase. You begin to believe, and you begin to interact with other spirits or other aliens. You get comfortable with the aliens. The abductions become more than just abductions. They become visitations. The encounters are no longer arbitrary, but they become customary. And what I believe is happening to you is you become familiar with the demon spirits, and you're now taking on other demon spirits. You're interacting with others. And that's how people come up with multiple personalities. Or in the Bible, there was a man who came up with a legion of demons. Jesus said, he spoke to those demons, and the man said, "What is your name?" And they said, "Legion, for we are many." And they also had to come in subjection to the name of Jesus Christ when he cast them out of the man into a herd of 2,000 swine up on a hill. And that swine did not want to be the host of these demons, ran down a steep hill and dove into the Sea of Galilee and died. Now that's the sixth phase, interacting and visiting with your demons or your aliens. Now number 7. The seventh phase that the person will go through is called multiple personalities and demon spirits, and that's when you actually take on more spirits than your original spirit or original host, and you begin to do things and say things and act in ways that are beyond your normal way, your upbringing. Your moral compass collapses, and this is where people fall into all kinds of things: drug addiction, homosexuality, sometimes they get locked into pornography, a lot of sexual sins. There's 21 different sexual disorders according to the psychology before 1973. Since then, 2 of them have been considered normal, one of them, which is homosexuality, that kind of took it off the list. But believe me, it is a demon spirit that affects people and causes them. Now, number 8, in the 8th phase that Dr. Mack said people go through is called passing through the veil. And when you pass through the veil, that's when you believe that you can be in multiple places at multiple times in history at once. You've arrived. You've passed through Satan's veil. I'm going to say it's Satan's veil. You see, because in the Bible, when Moses built the tabernacle in the wilderness, there was the outer court. You go through the door representing Jesus. There was the brazen altar. There was the golden laver. You would go through a veil into the first Holy of Holies where the shewbread was, and the menorah, and the golden altar. And then there was a second veil. You go through that second veil into the Holy of Holies. And when you went into that veil, you got into the presence with God. Well, Satan has a veil. And these abductions, these transformations, this brainwashing, this possessions, this familiarities, and these perversions will eventually lead you inside the veil of darkness. And that's when you've completely arrived at 8 phases. Do you remember the Hale-Bopp Comet cult, where they all dressed in tennis shoes and black clothes and committed suicide and put these purple sheets over their head and waited to catch the Hale-Bopp Comet because they believed they belonged in the cosmos? That's just one group. Trust me, Satan is so much more subtle than that, to the point that he's going to send the false prophet and the Antichrist. And here's what he's going to do. It's this, what I just told you, that demons are here for and what they're trying to oppress. Here's what it says in 2 Thessalonians. It says, oh man, I don't have enough time for it, but I want to start on it. We're going to have to hit you with part 3. It says in 2 Thessalonians 2:3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin is revealed. He's the son of perdition, he exalts himself above all that is called God. So see, these alien spirits, these demon spirits, if you will cause you to become antichrist or atheist. You don't believe in God, you believe in aliens. It's a corruption. Except there come a falling away, that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. He will exalt himself above God and above those that worship God. I'm Paul Begley. We will finish this. It'll only take 2 or 3 more minutes. Part 3. Go there.